So what we have here is question A, guys, okay? And question A is differentiate what's here. Now, the P stays the same, but what changes is the x cubed. What happens when you differentiate x cubed? The 3 goes to the front, and you take 1 away from the power. 3x squared, okay? Next one, what happens when you differentiate x squared? See the way it's qx squared. What happens when you differentiate the x squared? 2x, perfect. And what happens when you differentiate anything beside an x? Anything beside an x, the x disappears. So it's going to be r. And then finally, any number on its own, even if it's a letter? 0. Now, what's going to happen next is the p multiplies by the 3, and you're going to get 3px squared. The 2 multiplies by the q, 2qx plus r. Now you have to differentiate a second time. So you have to differentiate everything twice, don't you? I just did it just as a slower step, just so people can understand the two-step process in it. Okay. Now the 2 multiplies by what, guys? The 2 multiplies by the 3p to give you 6p. Take 1 away from the 2, x. Anything beside an x, what happens to the thing beside the x? Just go straight through as 2q. R is on its own, there's no x beside it. 0. Your answer is 6px plus 2q. Who got that? 6px plus 2q. Okay, not that many. Okay, well, actually more than I thought. Now, next one. Jordan, can you tell me what f dash minus 1 means? What does that actually mean for you to do? No. How many dashes do you see? So that means differentiate once. So what happens when you differentiate this? 2 multiplied by 3? 6x. Drop the x from the minus 4. Minus 4. The minus 7 turns into? 0. Okay? And while we're here, Sean, we'll differentiate a second time. What happens when you differentiate 6x?
You get 6.
And when you differentiate minus 4?
You get
0. Okay, now, the two questions are asking us for f dash minus 1 and f double dash minus 1. What do you think the difference is between f dash x and f dash minus 1? What is the difference? Sub in minus 1, and you get minus 6 minus 4 minus 10. Now, the second one has no x in it, doesn't it? So it just stays as 6. There's nothing you can do with it. There's no x to substitute, so you just have to leave it the same. Is that right? Many people got that out. Now, number 10, same deal. David, will you differentiate this for the first time for me? And then so just differentiate it. You've done a couple of these before.
X.
That turns into? The 3 turns into?
Minus 1.
No, just when you differentiate 3.
Okay, 0.
0, perfect. What does the minus 2x turn into?
Minus 2.
Okay, and what does the x cubed turn into?
3x squared.
Okay. Differentiate it a second time for me now.
Plus.
What happens to the minus 2? Okay, and the 3x squared?
That goes to 6x.
Okay, so you're pretty much able to do it, like, to be fair to you. Okay? So you're very close to having the full thing done. That's a good attempt though, right? So in a test you'd never leave it blank. If you see 1 dash or 2 dashes, just make sure you differentiate once and then you differentiate a second time. You'll pick up most of the marks. Now, what do you think you do for f dash minus 5 then? Sub it in for the x. Minus 2 plus 3 times minus 5 squared. You're going to depend on the calculator and you're going to get 73. What? I don't know how to do that in my brain. It's just put in the calculator, you get 73. Okay. Next one. 6 times minus 5? Minus 30. Shh. There's your two answers right there. Okay. Now, finally, Gonzalo. Okay, there's two questions here. dsdt and d2sdt squared. How would you get the first derivative, Gonzalo? dsdt, that is. What does 3t turn into? 3
minus 4t.
4t. 2 by 2 to get you to 4. Take 1 away from the power of 4t. When you differentiate a second time, Gonzalo? The 3 turns to 0. The minus 4t turns to minus 4. Now, it specifies. Now, what we have here, guys, is t equals 2. So what does that mean for the first one? 3 minus
4, 2.
times minus 2, which is minus 4 times minus 2? 8.
2 to 4.
Yeah, where do you get the minus 2 from? Oh, sorry, it's plus 2. Sorry, excuse me. Plus 2. My bad. It's 3 minus 8, which is minus 5. I felt. Sean, the second one has no t, so what does that mean the answer is?
0.
Stays as minus 4, because you can't sub in anything for it. So the whole point is, if you see a t, you replace it with 2. But there's no t in the second derivative, so we just have to leave it as minus 4.